Most wars in history didn't begin because leaders wanted war. They began because leaders believed war wouldn't happen. That's the paradox. In 1914, Europe was deeply connected through trade. People thought war was impossible. Weeks later, millions were marching. Today, the world is more connected than ever. Supply chains connect continents. Banks control economies beyond borders. Satellites track every movement. Artificial intelligence predicts military behavior. And yet, global military spending has exploded. Nations are stockpiling weapons, building alliances, preparing energy reserves, securing semiconductor supply, testing cyber warfare. Publicly, leaders speak of peace. Privately, they are preparing for disruption. And here's the disturbing part. World War III may not begin like World War I or II. No formal declaration, no single invasion, no single day. It may already be happening, in pieces, and most people don't even see it. The modern world looks peaceful. Flights move, markets open, ships trade, apps function, food arrives. But peace today is infrastructure dependent. That means peace survives only if systems survive, and systems are becoming fragile. The internet, power grids, shipping routes, banking networks, semiconductor production, undersea internet cables. Most people don't know this. Over 95% of global internet traffic travels through underwater cables, not satellites. Cables. And these cables are vulnerable. If disrupted, markets freeze. Communication slows. Military coordination weakens. Entire economies shake. This is why naval warfare has changed. It's no longer just about fleets. It's about invisible infrastructure. Future wars may target cables before cities, and most civilians wouldn't understand what's happening. At first, people think Taiwan matters because of politics. That's only half true. Taiwan matters because it manufactures the nervous system of civilization. Semiconductors, phones, cars, missiles, AI systems, medical equipment, servers, everything. One company, Taiwan. Semiconductor Manufacturing Company controls a huge part of advanced chip manufacturing. This creates a dangerous concentration. One island, one industry, global dependence. Here's the hidden reality. If Taiwan stops production for even weeks, global manufacturing suffers, stock markets panic, military supply chains slow, AI companies freeze expansion. Now imagine war, or blockade, or cyber sabotage. This is why Taiwan is not just a territory, it's leverage, and leverage creates pressure. Prediction. The next 5 years will see more economic military pressure around Taiwan than direct invasion, because invasion destroys the asset, control preserves it. That's modern strategy. Most people think war uses bullets. Modern war uses currency. The US dollar is one of the most powerful geopolitical weapons in history. Why? Because most global trade depends on it. Oil, debt, international reserves, sanctions, bank settlements. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you control the currency system, you can punish countries without firing, freeze reserves, block payments, limit transactions, destroy imports, economic warfare, invisible war. This is why some nations are aggressively trying to reduce dependence on the dollar, not because they hate America, because dependence is vulnerability. Prediction. The next decade will see aggressive fragmentation of global payment systems, not because the dollar collapses, but because nations fear its power. That changes everything. This part is underestimated. Food. Wars are not sustained by weapons. They are sustained by calories. Look at wheat, fertilizer, corn, shipping lanes, water. Food systems are now geopolitical assets. A drought in one region affects prices globally. A blocked sea route affects food security elsewhere. A fertilizer shortage affects next season's production. Chain reaction. History shows food instability often comes before political instability, not after. Future conflict zones may not start over ideology, but over resources, water, food, energy. This is where climate pressure becomes security pressure. That connection is growing fast. Cyberwar is strange. Because when it works, you don't know it happened. Imagine waking up and ATMs stop, electricity fails, air traffic freezes, hospitals lose systems, signals fail, no bombs, but chaos. This isn't science fiction. Modern powers constantly test vulnerabilities, not always attacking, mapping, positioning, preparing, like placing pieces on a chessboard. And here's the dangerous part. Cyberattacks are hard to attribute. If you don't know who hit you, who do you retaliate against? That uncertainty creates. Previous wars were industrial. The next major war will be algorithmic. AI is changing. Surveillance, targeting, prediction drones, defense systems. But here's the hidden danger. Speed. AI compresses decision making. Humans used to have hours or days. Future systems may force decisions in minutes or seconds. That increases error. Imagine, AI misreads movement, flags threat, triggers defense, enemy responds, escalation begins. No one intended war, but speed removed caution. Prediction. AI regulation will become a major geopolitical battlefield, because whoever slows down may lose advantage. Big powers avoid direct war. Too costly, too risky, too visible. So they use proxy conflict, support, funding, weapons, training, intelligence. This keeps tension alive without full collision. But proxy wars create long-term instability, and sometimes they expand. History proves local wars can become global, not by design, by alignment. One ally enters, then another, then treaties activate, and suddenly, a regional war becomes international. That is the real danger today, not one giant war, connected smaller wars. Global trade depends on narrow passages, tiny routes, huge importance. Block 1. Everything changes. Prices rise, fuel delays, insurance spikes, supply chains stretch. These choke points are strategic pressure points, and militaries know it. Future warfare may focus less on territory and more on bottlenecks, because controlling movement means controlling economies, and controlling economies changes negotiations fast. This is where wars actually begin, not hatred, miscalculation. Leader A thinks Leader B is bluffing. Leader B thinks Leader A will retreat. Both escalate, neither retreats. Collision. This pattern repeats through history. And nuclear deterrence doesn't remove it, it changes its shape. Now miscalculation can happen through AI, cyber drones, economic sanctions, maritime incidents. Modern complexity increases misunderstanding, not clarity. That's the hidden risk. The world isn't becoming simpler, it's becoming. Prediction 1. Economic warfare will intensify faster than military warfare. Prediction 2. Taiwan remains the most dangerous flashpoint. Prediction 3. AI military integration accelerates. Prediction 4. Supply chain nationalism expands. Countries will localize critical industries. Prediction 5. Food and water become strategic security issues. Prediction 6. The world splits into economic influence zones. Not total globalization. Selective globalization. Trusted blocks. Restricted trade, controlled technology. And that may be the biggest shift of all. The world isn't moving toward one global system anymore. It's splitting into competing systems. And history shows when systems split, friction rises. Maybe the next world war won't look like war. No trenches, no speeches, no declarations, just disruptions, shortages, system failures, cyber blackouts, financial pressure, proxy battles, invisible escalation. And one day, people may look back and realize it had already started, not with an explosion, but with preparation. The question isn't, who wants war? The question is, what happens when everyone prepares for one at the same time? If history teaches anything, it's this. The most dangerous moments are when everyone believes someone else will stop it. But what if no one does? End.